What I found, though, was that the most interesting thing about my study was not about my results. It wasn't about the hypothesis testing. It was about the MARC-R itself, revising a very detailed relationship questionnaire for use with LGBTQ subjects. And so, again, we revised it. There's 3 of us working on the project. We did a lot of validity examination of whether this was really, this is an equal measure for use with these couples. And it wasn't just about changing the language. We did revise a few items. And we kept the items from the original just to see that they were performing the same way as the one that we had revised. So what we found is that the love and partnership scales from the MARC, which have found in previous studies to be most reliable across cultures, that those resulted in these graphs where you have a group of heterosexual, gay, and lesbian couples. And when you look at the items, the values of those items are things like, do you find your spouse easy to get along with? Is your partner or spouse kind to you? And when you see the way that this is laid out, it suggests that we're really looking for the same things in relationships, that we have the same values around what we are looking for in our most intimate relationships. Again, as a lesbian who's out doing research, I'm looking at this going, oh, well, of course, no big deal. Let me get to my hypothesis testing. This is the love items. So this previous one is the partnership items, love items. They're virtually identical among the groups. And I'm just thinking, of course, let's move on. And my dissertation chair is like, this is the null hypothesis again. This is amazing. And I just didn't have that perspective about it. So I'm conscious of time. I had a few other things to say about, to inspiring our own work, but I am conscious of time and I want to leave some room for discussion. But my own kind of blindness around this was that I didn't really do a lot around publishing or really, because I just didn't think it was that big of a deal, that of course we're looking for the same things in relationships. But actually now with the narrative that's being kind of revisited by very conservative groups, it would be great to get this research out there. And so I was talking with Carol Weisfeld about that. What she really wanted me to know, though, was that ever since I did this research, as she's taught her human sexuality classes, she's presented this research to her classes, undergraduate and graduate, and she said particularly in the undergraduate classes, when she shows these slides, she said, Ellen, you can hear the jaws dropping, that people just haven't had this narrative yet, that the jaws are dropping. And again, I'm thinking like, of course, you told me that last time. And then she said, no, you don't understand. Every year it's the same thing. And she said this year there was one undergraduate person. This is kind of a conservative academic environment at UDM. She said there was one openly gay young man in the class. And she said, I presented this, and just like always, everyone's jaw was dropping. She said, except for him. He slammed his hand down on his desk, and he said, yes, I knew it. And that's the value of really getting someone's story.